Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 8 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now as you know, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a 12-part series that was meant to feature the destruction of the original continuity and a more rebooted post-Crisis continuity. And as you know, the Tomorrowverse has done its own take on Crisis on Infinite Earths, and 2 or 3 years ago, I did pick this issue off eBay, and this is meant to feature the death of Barry Allen, who will eventually come back during the whole Final Crisis storyline, and would be a prominent character in the New 52 reboot launch. And the cover mainly has Barry Allen holding down Psycho Pirate while dealing with the Anti-Monitor. And the story starts off with, Psycho Pirate wondering if the Anti-Monitor survived, and if he did die like Supergirl, but he learns to his surprise that the Anti-Monitor has returned in a new body armor. And of course, we see how on Apocalypse, Desaad talks with Darkseid about the Anti-Monitor, but of course, Darkseid has taken precautions in keeping Apocalypse safe, knowing what the Anti-Monitor could be capable of. We see how on Oa, what remains of the Green Lanterns talk with the Guardians about what's been going on, but of course have to keep things private. And we see how, on Earth 1, in the future, we see how, Brainiac 5 is trying to deal with the grief of Supergirl, and we do kind of see how the other team members like Satin Girl, Lightning Lad, Mongo and that try to console him to little to no avail. And we see how, Firehawk and Firestorm get word from Vixen. They got T.O. Morrow, and of course try to operate on the repairs of Red Tornado, who was T.O. Morrow's creation. So after doing some work on it, they find out that Red Tornado's design is completely different after Ray Palmer, the Atom, had done some further investigating. And of course he says, "No, that's not the inside I constructed. The Red Tornado's been changed." So of course they have to get help from another source known as Blue Devil, who was originally a stuntman, and his suits were bio-engineered. So, of course, because of T.O. Morrow's carelessness, something goes wrong that causes the whole Justice League satellite that was abandoned to be destroyed. And, of course, everyone tries to get out panically the best they can. We see how Blue Devil tries to chase T.O. Morrow and thinks he's found him from a portal. So, of course, he ends up with the Omega Men, and something goes wrong, which is later picked up in another issue of Blue Devil. And we see how in the Anti-Monitor's universe, we see how his Thundermen have been forcing the residents in the Anti-Monitor universe to construct his Anti-Monitor cannon. And we see how the Thundermen are relentless on the slaves and basically treat them like crud. And we see how Psycho Pirate gloats with the Flash, and of course he manages to get back his speed and basically pummels Psycho Pirate for everything that he's done. But of course we see that Psycho Pirate begs for his life, and Flash has an idea on what he can do to redeem himself. And after the Thundermen keep the slaves working, we see how because of Barry Allen's quick thinking, he uses Psycho Pirate as a way to kind of get the Thundermen to go against the Anti-Monitor, which causes the Anti-Monitor to get hit by his own soldiers. And we kind of see him saying, "No matter no, I would destroy one cell in a world filled with them, if need be." And we see how, Barry Allen uses every Thunderman around him to use them as a powerful source to take down the Anti-Monitor. And of course, we see how after he takes out Psycho Pirate, he goes into the Anti-Monitor's device and tries to dismantle it, knowing that it's powered by antimatter. And after going through, he remembers all the people in his life, talks about all the people who's been there for him. And of course, we see how as soon as he goes further, he starts to age. And we kind of see how, yeah, turns out Barry Allen was in key moments from the other issues. And we see how, yeah, because of his sacrifice, Barry Allen disappears. And in doing so, all that is left is his costume and his ring. And the Anti-Monitor, now taking this as a personal matter of war, is going to destroy everyone for what they've done. And we see how the Challengers of the Unknown try to kind of do further research on the Merlins and everything. But we see how something happens. And this leads to the Spectre knowing that something is going to happen. And yeah, this is the story. So I think issue A is kind of okay. Like I said, it's an event comic. Some characters are going to die, some characters will disappear, be gone for a little while, and then be brought back. Either by reboots, either by characters sort of coming back from the dead, they're going to come back through mystical means, or there's going to be a rebooted continuity that puts them back in the same status quo. But it's just one of those standard, average mill sort of event comic deaths. So I think it still deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.